We are live. I'm live. I think this is working. What better thing to do on a rainy Saturday than watch Harry Potter? I don't know if anybody's going to watch with me, but I am. All right. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome. Glad you guys are here. Hey everyone. Give me a second. I gotta. YouTube. All right. What's up, guys? Nothing better to do. It's rainy by me. I just took Wes for a rainy hike, and he's lying on my bed over there, asleep. Half asleep, maybe. I don't know if he's actually asleep. So I figured, why not just chill and watch Harry Potter, the second movie? Unfortunately, the second movie might be my least favorite, but it's still great. I still love it. I am going to share my screen, share the window. I'm doing this somewhat illegally, so don't judge me. I shouldn't say that on YouTube. Maybe they'll take something away. Yeah, Wes is over there. I don't know if you can see him. See my apartment. He's on the bed over there. He was soaked. Now he's content and laying on the bed, just chilling, enjoying life, you know? Cecilia, is it a semifinal match or a final match tonight? I'm curious. Go South Africa. Sorry if you're English. All right, I am just going to play it. So I'm going to get all sorts of pop-ups on these windows, so apologies. Nice, you can hear it. All right, just pausing for 1 second. You guys all heard that on nice semi. What's up, Mel? Lady of Godric's Hollow. I like that name. You guys got some good names, especially on Discord, in our subreddit. Yeah, I am going to link the. Give me a second. I am the world's worst multitasker as well, so I have a tough time doing a task and talking at the same time. I feel like it's because I'm a man, but actually I'm not terrible at it. New Zealand just won against Argentina. I just saw that. So next weekend. Wow, they have a week to prepare. That's pretty significant. That is where I'm watching. If anybody wants to join and watch, we're watching on our Discord under the Live Watches tab. So I'm going to be playing the movie there. Oh, I got to do the timer. Hold on. There we go. Let me reset it. Give me a second. Scripts, reset. Perfect. A South Africa New Zealand final would be great. What was the final in 2019? Was it South Africa England? Because everyone's talking about a rematch today. Like this is the rematch of was it the 2019 final? I don't understand rugby rules, unfortunately. Give me football. Not American football. I understand American football, but I'm a New York Jets fan. Also, the U.S. men's national team. They're my team. So I ride or die for them. Watch every single game. I haven't picked an English team. Some people want me to do Crystal Palace, but I'm not a big Crystal Palace fan. I know it's hard to remember that far back. This previous World Cup was like one of my favorite World Cups of all time. The U.S. stinks. Holland destroyed us. We played terrible against Holland. We have an awful head coach. I hate it. Yeah, I know. Rugby World Cup. I don't understand the rules of rugby. But we got destroyed by Holland last football World Cup, soccer World Cup. And next one's going to be played around in the States. So there's a few games that are in a few stadiums near me. So I'm probably going to go to a few. I'm excited for that. And the U.S. I don't even think the U.S. made the rugby final. I don't think we're a very strong rugby side. I know, me too. I'm very excited for the soccer World Cup. I'm gonna go to. There's a few games in the Meadowlands. That's where I live right outside of New York City, so that I live like 20 minutes from a stadium. So there's a few games that are happening there. I think one of the semifinals or maybe the final game is happening there. So I'm very, very, very excited for that. That's my jam. All right, I'm gonna play the movie. Yeah, Mexico. Mexico has been having a rough time. The U.S. has been doing better than Mexico recently, but Mexico played a heck of a lot better against Germany than the U.S. It was a few days ago. They played this week. Oh man, yeah. Soccer World Cup in South Africa was one of the most memorable World Cups. I'm a big Holland fan as well because I'm half Dutch, so it was fun to watch. All right, I'm playing the movie on Discord. I'm starting from scratch. I have to say, from the get-go, me and my mom always talk about it, but the music when it like soars through the clouds like this always makes me excited. I've got to start the timer. Sorry. Hold on, everyone. I gotta restart this because I didn't start the timer on time. There we go. Now we're good. Come on, work. There we go. Oh, we're 4, 5. And we're good. Okay. Is it working on Discord, everyone? I know. Mexico and US are so inconsistent. It's so hard to be. I mean, I'm like a ride or die fan. I'll watch all their games. I love them. I'm getting more and more into it as I get older as well. But they are a hard team to love, to be completely honest. Yeah, I love Holland soccer. I love Dutch soccer. It's total football. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I love this shot of little whinging Surrey. Yeah. How like cookie cutter it is and how disgusting. Ugh. It's exactly where the Dursleys would live. This is cute. I liked how this one started because you guys can hear. How's the volume, by the way? I'm bumping it up a little bit. Come on, Hedwig. Is volume good enough for you guys? For some reason, it seems a little low for me. Oh, yeah, it is low. Hold on. I knew it was low. Give me a second to figure out the volume. I am going full blast right now with all my volume. I think it'll be better as time goes on. This part always makes me laugh. Petunia is so good. She overacts in this, but I think it's deservedly so. I think she should overact in this whole movie. Matthew, I don't think they're going to have a big reaction to that, if I'm being completely honest. Even though, I don't know. I don't think they've liked him enough. there's like a progression for things, especially with Sirius. When Sirius died, they just didn't resonate enough with them. I think Dobby's is going to be a little bit different because he kind of does save them at that moment. So I think it's going to be like a little bit more. I think it's going to hit him a little bit more. But I don't think they're going to get that emotional or torn up for it, to be completely honest. I don't know why. I think Dumbledore is going to be the one that hit them the hardest. Actually, at the end, there's a few others. I think. Yeah, I think the movie actually portrays that really well, to be completely honest. I actually love how they do that. And anytime I talk about like the mecca of Harry Potter locations, I always mean Shell Cottage. Yeah, I think we're going to do a live read for that chapter. We're probably going to do a live read for half the chapters, to be completely honest. Someone gave us a schedule of like what we should and shouldn't do for live reads and not. And it was actually really good. So I know in my heart, I'm like, they better get emotional for all the scenes that I get emotional for. Otherwise, I'm going to be mad. But you got to let them be emotional for whatever they want to be emotional for. Give me 1 second. I got to write a quick email while I'm watching. It's going to take me 2 seconds. Um, the book or the movie, Cecilia? I mean, the movie is absolutely impeccable and perfect. So, or I mean, no, not the movie. The book is absolutely perfect and impeccable. The movie didn't do an awful job, but it didn't do a great job, I thought. Um, yeah. Obviously, the book. We all mean the book. Crystal, refresh my memory. Do they give him like clothes or a shirt for that? It's like faint in my memory. I mean, it would be appropriate if they give him clothes. He had shoes on. I don't remember that. But that is a beautiful part if they did that. It is crazy. Yeah, like even watching this movie, when I was like thinking about watching this movie, I was like, I don't remember. I mean, I remember this book really well, but I don't remember the differences a lot between the book and the movie because I haven't read the book. I mean, the last time I read the book was last year, the Jen and Danny Kristen, but yeah, shoes and socks and a tea cozy. That would have been great if they changed his wardrobe for that. Oh man, if they gave him a Weasley jumper, I would have been in shambles. Oh my gosh, if Harry or Ron, that would have been a good Ron move. I feel like Ron would have done that in the books. If Ron, like reached down and took his Weasley jumper, even though he doesn't love his Weasley jumper so much, if he took his Weasley jumper and put it on Dobby and they buried him in a Weasley jumper, that would have been crushing. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm just finishing this email. Perfect. The first book you read, wow. What was the first book that you guys read that made you fall in love with reading? I always am fascinated by that question. Because it's different for everybody, but To Kill a Mockingbird was the book for me. When I read that first, and it was like the whole Harry Potter series that really made me fall in love with reading. But I remember reading To Kill a Mockingbird thinking that this is what a good book is about. It was so fantastic. Ooh, Series of Unfortunate Events. I never read that one, actually. Yeah, Harry Potter was it for me. Tuck Everlasting. Interesting. Yeah, Chronicles of Narnia, 100% for me too. I remember devouring those in high school in like a weekend. Oh, they were so good. I wish I made better movies out of those. But Chronicles of Narnia is a bit random, if I'm being completely honest. Like, its mythology is just all over the place. And that's what, like, Tolkien said that too about Lewis's work. But Lewis is such a good writer. Oh my gosh. Pride and Prejudice, great. Crown of Monte Cristo was one that got me so into reading. That story was enthralling. Okay, that's an interesting thought. It's wild that Harry doesn't know that his parents died on Halloween, and Halloween each year still managed to be sad in some way. So Halloween, in the first book, they take on the troll. What happens in Halloween in the second one? They go to the Death Day party? Yeah, I think they go to the Death Day party, which wasn't in the movies, which I was a little bummed about. Ooh, Hardy Boys, yeah. Those are great. I love the set that they made for this because this is exactly in my head how I picture the Weasley cottage to be. I love this place. I love the tile work. Oh my gosh, it is so quaint and cozy. I'm such a fan of this place. The brickwork, oh. Yeah, I understand why they cut the Death Day party too. I feel like that was an understandable, like they didn't necessarily need it. Where was Harry? What was Harry doing every single book during Halloween? What was he doing during the third book? I don't know if they had it in the third book. Sirius infiltrates. That's right. Oh, Harry's named Champion in the book 4. Dang. That's fascinating. Something serious happens every Halloween on the night that his parents died. It's like a time where he feels pretty seriously alone, too, I'm sure, every single time. Best hope I put bars on your windows, Ronald Weasley. Oh, Molly. Great actress here. Poor Ginny. Arthur is great. Arthur is just great in every movie. I do think that he was one of the best cast adaptations. Like I feel like he fits exactly what the books made Mr. Weasley to be. Except for one small thing, I kind of wish they included the fight that he had with Lucius in the bookstore. I feel like that would have shown in the movies that he has like more of a righteous fervor against bigotry. That's so good. I love that part so much. Yeah, for sure. I like the plumpness because I feel like Mrs. Weasley would make him plump. Muggle dueling. Ooh, he hangs with Lupin in book 3. That's actually kind of lovely. I love Lupin so much. Oh my gosh. He's one of my favorite characters in the entire book. That line really annoys me where Molly Weasley says there's only one place we're going to find all this. Diagon Alley. That annoys me because obviously that's where they would find it all. Like, we haven't been told up until this point that there's any other place that they would find this stuff. And I hate that they get dirty when they go into the Floo network as well. I don't know why. It's just like a little pet peeve of mine. That'd be annoying. I wouldn't want to travel by Floo powder if I get that dirty. Yeah, Matthew, I have heard that theory, and I don't like it. I don't abide by that theory. I can't stand that theory, to be honest. Um, I feel like you could say that for any book that's ever been published, to be completely honest. Oh, I still have a crush on Lupin every time I read the books. They buy cheap powder. That's actually interesting. Maybe they buy like a little dirty of powder, a little cheaper. This place is creepy, but I would really be fascinated to walk in there and like check what's going on in there. Oh, is that the Hand of Glory? I don't think so. That part freaked me out when I was a kid. I remember watching that and like having a jump scare. Hold on. I guess we're not watching the extended edition for this one. Oh, that's a bummer. I don't know how to get the extended edition. We're watching it a little shadily. Yeah, the Inferi one is easily the worst jump scare. That one terrified me, and I watched that as an adult, and I was absolutely terrified. I don't like horror that much anyway, so. But okay, so this isn't the extended edition because in the movies too, he sees the Malfoys in Bergen and Borks. Oh well. Flesh eating slug repellent. Wow. It's a gruesome way to kill slugs. Oculus Reparo. Here you. Hermione just used magic outside of school. That's the first time I picked up on that. Wow. I guess it's not going to register because she's in Diagon Alley. And there's tons of wizards and witches using magic in Diagon Alley. But Hermione did something illegal in the movies. The movies do not follow, I think, very well at all how magic needs to be respected. In the books, they do it all. Oh, Kenneth Branagh. Oh, what a guy. So perfectly cast. What do you guys think of repelling slugs that eat flesh? No, I always thought it was their eat they eat the flesh of the slugs because the slugs are eating the cabbages. They're not eating flesh. But maybe they are. They're just snacking on cabbage. What do you guys think of Kenneth Branagh playing Dumbledore in the new series? I feel like he's too kind of cute. I feel like he couldn't kind of do it that well, to be honest. But he's a pretty multifaceted actor. I feel like he can kind of nail it. Wow. That Halloween idea is pretty cool, Kiv. I like that. Ooh, he would be a good Ollivander, I kind of think. Maybe. I feel like he's almost too jovial. Hercule Poirot. Where's that? Oh, I love. Such a good actor. Oh, he was great in Dunkirk. 100% agree with that. Jason Isaacs was just great in everything that he played, but I feel like I haven't seen him except for a villain. Peter Pan. He's in Peter Pan. He's in The Patriot. He's a fantastic villain, though. The slugs are omnivorous. I never saw Tenet. I could not. One of my friends saw it before me, and they just were like, "It's all over the place." But I'm still interested in seeing it. I just haven't seen it yet. I know. So I saw this TikTok the other day, and it made me think. If you guys are Lord of the Rings fans, ooh, Kenneth has nearly had this nick. That'd be great. If you guys are Lord of the Rings fans, everyone knows that one scene in Lord of the Rings. If you've seen the director's cut or the extended edition of Lord of the Rings, or not the extended, if the appendices or the like the extras, everyone knows that one scene where Aragorn kicks the helmet, and if you're a super nerd, you always say, "Did you know that in this scene he breaks his toe when he kicks the helmet in Two Towers?" That's like everyone knows that who's like a nerd Lord of the Rings fan. What is the equivalent of that scene in Harry Potter and all the Harry Potter movies? Where like if you're reading the books and you watch the movies, you can tell your friends it didn't happen like that in the it didn't happen like that in the movies or in the books, and it's completely different. Irresponsible parent move, by the way, to let them not let all the kids go first and let the adults go. Like Ginny should have gone in first. The oldest brother maybe should have gone in last. Poor Hedwig. You guys know what I'm asking though? Like what's the one scene that you always tell your friends? Yeah, basically everything. Okay, that's very true. Yeah, Draco does have really good lines. I think Draco does so well in this. I think Tom Felton is incredible as Draco. And Sirius dies and Harry screams. Good acting as well. That is the one scene where, like, yeah, everyone talks about it being like, his grandmother died or grandfather died, and that's the thing. Yeah, me and Danny are nerd Lord of the Rings fans. It would be, Mel, it would be me and Danny walking through Jen and Kristen Lord of the Rings. Because me and Danny are Lord of the Rings nerds. The movies are just the greatest movies ever made. I love them so much. I love Ron's like mid puberty in this movie. Like his voice is all over the place. It's so cute. Snape's worst memory was one of the biggest. I guess maybe even the question is, what's the worst movie change they made from the books? Yeah, Kiv, it's on Discord. Let me paste the link. Give me a sec. I'm sure you're already on our Discord, but yeah, Cecilia, I'm actually with you. I did struggle with the Lord of the Rings books. But they're like too adult fantasy for me. They don't have like enough wonder. I love The Hobbit. I really like The Hobbit. Is the exclusion of Dobby? I don't think Abby's watched the first movie yet. Cecilia, I just saw your character. Ginny as a character. That is one of the biggest ones. Ginny is so terrible. Burning the Burrow. Oh my gosh. Why would they make that decision? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I would recommend starting with The Hobbit. The Hobbit, it's more fanciful and more like The Hobbit has like more, I think it's more kid like. Even though Lord of the Rings is, I think it's good, it's a little harder to get through than The Hobbit. The Hobbit's like one complete story, a little bit more fanciful than Lord of the Rings is. Lord of the Rings is like a very serious fantasy book. The first ask in Goblet of Fire being completely different than the book. It wasn't that different from the books. Wait, Fire Mal. Give me more details on what you just said. Because they're fighting a dragon and they fight the dragon the same way that they should. Oh yeah. Okay, for sure. I agreed with that. I thought you were talking about like the whole task was just completely different. Yeah, that part was a little ridiculous. I actually don't mind that so much, to be completely honest. Although there's no way that would ever happen. Like the dragon just gets free after that and just goes. Very ridiculous. But I don't mind that they had the dragon flying around. I thought it was like, yeah, cinematic wise, it was great cinematically, and it was great for for like letting moviegoers see the entire castle again. No, you don't have a bad memory. That was just a terrible addition that they put into the movies for no reason. That part infuriates me. And then it also infuriates me that they're all wizards and they all have their wands and they're not putting out the fire instantaneously. Like, are you kidding me? It's utterly ridiculous. Ooh, Kiv, agreed about Creature's Tale. I like understand why they didn't put it in there, but I wish they had put it in there because that scene in the books was one of my favorites. I know that's maybe like a little hyperbolic, but I loved that scene so much. I thought it was incredible. Dad's gonna kill me. Yeah, Harry kills Quirrell. That's always a funny part to me. Yeah, Harry and Tom dueling and flying over the place. Yeah. That was also a weird little scene. I didn't really understand that. There was I will give them this one interesting scene that they had during that when it was weird when Voldemort and Harry's like heads merged into one and then they split again. I feel like they were trying to do something um with the Horcruxes idea there. I didn't hate it, but it was a little weird. But I didn't hate it so much. Yeah, Creature's role was like very diminished, and so was Dobby's role very diminished. And they just made Neville Dobby in book 4, which I hate. You don't like when their faces merged? I mean, I didn't think it was like incredible, but I thought it was like a good little nod to moviegoers where you're like, oh, huh, that's interesting. Because if I'm being completely honest too, I think when you watch the movies, I think you could walk away from watching the movies and not really know that Voldemort or that Harry is the last Horcrux. I think a little bit. Yeah, for sure. By the time it's died already, but yeah, yeah, okay, 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 guys, I'm with you. I'm with you. Ooh, I do love those greenhouses. I'm a big plant nerd, so I'm surprised Abby and I haven't talked more about plants because she is a huge plant nerd as well. Yeah, Matthew, I actually love that scene as well. It's in the movie 5 when he hits him over the head. I love that scene so much. Yeah, Kevin. Ooh, Voldy hugging Draco at the end is so weird. 100% agreed. But for some reason, I love that scene because it's such an awkward and disgusting hug. It's like he doesn't know how to hug a human being. And I think, I think Fiennes did that so well. I actually really like that. I do know that, and I'm sure you guys all know the deleted scene too, where they have Draco run back across and throw Harry's wand to him, which I actually thought was great. I love that. I kind of think that was a cool addition, and it would have been completely different from the movies, obviously. And it's not really the Malfoy's. It wouldn't be the Malfoy's MO, but I think that would have been a cool um, character arc for Malfoy. Oh my gosh. I actually don't mind how Neville did the whole thing where like he kind of woke up from being stunned by Voldemort himself, and like everything was going in slow motion around him. He saw the sword and then cut. I didn't mind how they did it. Although in the movies it has so much less significance than in the books. In the books, you're like, of course it's Neville. It's always had to be Neville to do this. In the movies, some of my friends have seen it and they just didn't understand the significance of Neville doing it. And I was like, that's why it crushes me. It crushes me that happened. Okay, Kevin, interesting idea too. For that scene, I was always confused when I saw the movies because I didn't know what was happening there. In the movies, when I saw the movies, I thought what they were implying was rather than like turn it 3 times in your hand, I was counting the times where it fell and it turned because I was like, oh, maybe in the movie they're trying to portray it as Harry drops it and it turns 3 times. And like in his head, he wishes that he was still alive with his friends and that's what actually happens. But the whole thing was so ambiguous and weird there. I thought it was just like, I don't know what they were trying to do. This is so great. The Howler, they did the Howler so well. I love this Howler. Interesting. Someone absorbed the power of the Resurrection Stone. I'm curious why they would think that. Music here. You like the Nagini kill better in the movies. To be honest, okay. Another one change that I really did like was when they moved the I mean there's like thematic significance behind them being in the Shrieking Shack, but I like that they changed it to the boathouse. I don't know why, we'd never really seen the boathouse before, but I kind of like that. It was a cool look. It was something new. It wasn't like so far away. I actually kind of didn't mind that. And then Nagini not being in like that bubble, I actually like that as well. I think that would have been a little strange to portray that in the movies. Kenneth Branagh is so great. Rupert's facial expressions, next to none. Yeah, Neville kicks it into high gear. Yeah, Cecilia, that is the one thing that drives me crazy too. If you see the movies only, you don't know anything that happens. You don't know what the heck goes on, and they mischaracterize so many of the characters. I've talked about this before, but my least favorite change from movies to books is when Harry doesn't get petrified or immobilized by Dumbledore, because I think that changes everything about the character of Dumbledore. Like he's just sitting up there watching Dumbledore die. That's like literally the opposite Harry. And the whole movies don't portray Harry as this, but the movies don't really portray him as like this person who has righteous vindication and wants to stop bad all the time. Like he has like a saving people complex. They don't play it up in the movies that much. He doesn't seem to have a saving people complex in the movies that much. In the books, that is like his MO. He has a complete saving people complex. He hits him with a book. Lockhart's wand is kind of cool there. It has something like attached to the bottom of it, which I kind of like. I know it might have looked weird if he was just frozen there, but then they should have just done something else. Like, okay, if you're not going to immobilize him, then I think putting another spell on there where like Dumbledore puts, you know, like how Voldemort puts Harry in those ropes, those ribbons. I'm like, do something like that. Put like a ribbon around his mouth, put it around his legs, put it around his like arms, so that he's like struggling to get out, and you see the actual struggle there. I think that would have been better, because that's the character of Harry. Ugh. No, Abby. I don't think Abby's watched the first movie yet, Kiv. I gotta ask her actually, but she's had a really busy week and she wasn't able to watch yet. Nimbus 2001. I know, agreed. This is the best way to end a week. And it's like a little rainy by me. This is like a perfect fall Harry Potter watching day. Oh, it's the best. Yeah, agreed. The Forest Again chapter was terrible in the movies. And that's like most people's favorite chapter is The Forest Again. Um there's another question. What was your guys or what is your guys' favorite chapter? Mine is still the cave. I love the cave with everything in me. I think that was one of the most enthralling chapters, and I still have such like nostalgia over that chapter because the first time that I read that chapter, I've never been that into like a book. I was reading it so fast that I couldn't keep up with my own like eyes because I wanted to finish it so fast, but I wanted to catch every detail. So this is a scene. This is one of those scenes too. I know from the extras that Ron, they gave him like flavored slugs, and Ron loved this scene. Oh, this drives me crazy from the movies. Ron is just an idiot. Like they need to have Ron explain all of this. It drives me crazy that they don't, because this is to me the point where Ron just becomes an absolute idiot in the movies, and he's like the comedic relief and the like this in the books. This is Ron describing all of this. Ron says everything in this lines. Ugh. Yeah, the cave had some creepiness in it. That's a great drinking game for Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, he got to go to work today. That sucks. Yeah, she says it from buying the animal. That was a really funny part. First couple of minutes. I have a hot take on that I don't think it would work. I don't know if I have never read the Percy Jackson ones, but I don't think that books work as shot for shot remakes of the movies. I think these movies tried a little bit to be shot for shot remakes, and I don't know if they did it that well, if I'm being completely honest. Books 1 and 2 or movies 1 and 2, they're good, but they lack like the pacing, I think, of a proper movie. So you do have to skip things. You do have to like go. I know, like I don't know what it is. You do have to not skip things, but you'd have to like synthesize things and make things go quick and have the actual pacing of a movie different from the book. But I just don't think that you can do a shot for shot remake of a book. A series, maybe that might be a little different because you have time, but you have like time to like go through everything and people are there watching the entire series. So that's why even like Game of Thrones, it feels like it's chapter by chapter, even though I don't think it is because I've never read Game of Thrones. But every episode seems like it's a little bit like more digestible and like it's slower. And I think you could do that for something like this, but you have to create the right amount of tension in each episode. And if tension's not there, then I think you're gonna just fail. Yeah, Ron knows nothing of the wizarding world in these, which is it's just ridiculous. Spinner's End was one of your favorites. That's interesting. Yeah, that is a fantastic top 10. I would put the one change that I would make in my top 10 would be I would include the Mirror of Erised. I think on rereads that chapter is an exceptional piece of writing. I do think that's actually one of her best written chapters. It is one of the most depressing chapters, but it is so good. Okay, theories. Yeah, don't forget the Quidditch chapters. I do love the Quidditch chapters. Theories for why Dumbledore hired Lockhart in the first place. I know there's a lot of different theories, and the most popular one is to show Harry what he would have become if he lived in the wizarding world. But that is that justifiable enough to hire someone for an entire year and waste the entire year of education over it? I feel like Harry would have been better served with a better professor to teach him the defense against the dark arts. Maybe not though. I would absolutely love him. Love them to make a show about the Marauders. I would 100% be into it. You thought he was cute, so you hired him. Honestly, that might be one of the reasons. Okay, but Celia, he's outing him for being a fraud, but is that like justifiable enough? How you could do that in so many different other ways, rather than bringing him into a school and making him teach for a year where the students don't learn a thing. I know the smile is pretty dreamy. The mystery of this book was really well done. I mean, there's mystery in every book, but I do think that this one had like a good try to figure out what's going on kind of feel to it. Yeah, I for sure get that showing Harry the bot side of fame too. That's like probably my closest theory, but I still think that's a lot. I still think that's a lot. This classroom is so cool. This is my favorite classroom that they portray in the entire movies, except for like the animals in cages. That's always a little sad. The architecture of it, I just love it. Yeah, maybe Lockhart did have some secret info on Horcruxes, to be honest. We don't know any of that kind of stuff. I feel like I would love that's a great scene. I would love for JK to write a rationale for that. And I feel like even though we don't know about the Order of the Phoenix yet, she can get someone from the Order of the Phoenix to fill in this role. Like Kingsley. Kingsley would be such a great teacher. Poor Professor Binns not getting his line. Yeah, Kingsley, I feel like it would be such a good teacher. Yeah, I think Lupin is available. And Moody should be available as well. Honestly, like they might be too young, but Charlie Weasley could be a good option for like a Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Maybe he's too young though and hasn't really experienced a lot of stuff. Sorry, I'm talking to my brother right now. I don't know. I would say McGonagall's afraid of Umbridge in the fifth movie. That's an interesting take. I feel like to me, she had like not a fear of Umbridge, but a fear of what Umbridge was doing to the students, maybe. And like knew that she needed to kind of maintain peace in order to be at the school to like I mean maybe that's more of book stuff. Maybe that's because book stuff is so into my head. That's an interesting take though. This is when Quidditch looks a lot better. It doesn't look great in this one, but it looks a lot better than when it did previously in movie one. You think they should? Ooh, that was a great line. When that like comes back and bites her in the butt. I love that line so much. Yeah, that one scene was a little strange. I don't know if her stepping down to me was fear though. I feel like it was she realized she was defeated in that moment. And then because in the books she's like a bit more subversive. She is very in her face and she doesn't care, and she is very fearless in the book, so I think you're kind of right about that. But in that one scene I didn't necessarily translate that as fear so much as like, come on, Wood, you're better than that. Yeah, I would love just an entire day of Quidditch, an entire episode of just Quidditch. I feel like that'd be fun. I love Ron's attitude there. I'll stop it. Oh, I saw this the other day, and I don't know if it was true or not because it was an Instagram post. Did Harry not use magic at all in the first movie? I was trying to think of it, and I can't remember. Yeah, agreed. Because that crushes them in the rest of the movies when their voices actually do kind of change. Yeah, that is kind of a funny line. Ron saying, "Don't worry, I'll stop it." Come on, Crystal, that'd be such a great episode. A good episode of just Quidditch. To me, this isn't like great, but if you can do like some good tension within a Quidditch chapter. Oh, little Colin Creevy. Give me a good tense Quidditch chapter. Oh, I would love that. Ooh, ouch. Yeah, the Colin actor is great. He's so good. I never played that game. I never had GameCube. Bummer. I also want to know, because I'm a Quidditch guy, I want to know what the heck happens. Um, I want to know what the heck happened with the first year of Quidditch. They won the first two games, and then obviously they lost the last game. But how did that lend enough to the fact that they wouldn't win the Quidditch Cup? That's a little crazy. I have seen Ted Lasso, and I love Ted Lasso so much. It's one of my favorites. I love Kenneth Branagh's facial expressions here too. So Slytherin won 2 games as well. Bummer. I do love that line when she goes, Malfoy, stop making such a fuss. That's great. I sometimes I hate unrealistic things like that they put in movies. Like, I don't know about you, maybe this is just me, but I've never spat out something that I've drunk like that because it's been disgusting. Okay, I don't know if I've confessed this on the podcast before, but when I saw this movie first and when I read the book first, I thought Dobby wasn't acting roguely. I thought that Dobby was actually acting under the Malfoys, and the Malfoys kind of like ordered him to not say anything to Harry. So when Dobby was acting under the Malfoy's orders and said something to Harry, that's why he was punishing himself. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought it was like interesting. So I kind of carry that into me with some of this kind of stuff. I kind of think that like Dobby's like on one side of the one foot on each side. And he was like trying to get Harry to not go because Harry was the only one that could really stop the Chamber of Secrets from opening, and the Malfoys knew that. Not that he was like trying to protect Harry. So it's a little different. He deserved a Weasley jumper. Daniel Radcliffe is a father. That's wild. And then Rupert Grint is a father too. Man, that's nuts. That's gonna be fun when they read. If I was them, I wouldn't let them watch the movies yet. Don't let my kids watch the movies. Read the books to them. Make them fall in love with the books and the characters. And then all of a sudden you play the movie and it's your dad as Harry Potter. How cool would that be? I kind of like that scene too when the film just like erupts. Also, side note, because I do film photography. Dumbledore didn't know how to operate a film camera right there. You need to rewind the film back into the roll. Otherwise, if you did that, it would have been exposed to light and the whole entire film roll would have been destroyed. Kind of like what he saw, not wouldn't burst into flame like that, but. Ooh, I like that, Lana. That's so cool. Reading them to your kids. No films until you're done. That's excellent. I love that so much. She's a 40-year-old actress right here. He's so good in this. Oh, he's so good. Yeah, I'm trying to convince him to do to let me do like recordings of us when we watch live. But it's been a little slow. Like Abby was thinking about doing it, but she watches movies in a weird way. Like we would have to watch like everything that we watched so far. She would watch in 2 parts. She would watch like every movie in 4 parts, which I actually think would be fun and cool. But she kind of just wanted like to not have the pressure of performing. Not that she's performing when she's watching the movies, but to be like on, you know. So she just wanted to watch the movies on her own time and like have her own thoughts to them, which I respect. Danny is all about recording everything. So he's trying to convince his now wife to record like everything that they do with Harry Potter. Me and Danny are kind of the same mindset. We want to like we want to document everything. Pretty obvious. It also drives me crazy in the movies that they don't teach them how to block unfriendly spells. They just get 2 people up there. They don't really teach blocking at all. That drives me crazy. Definitely down with Myrtle. She's superb and I support her. All right. Have you guys seen Ted Lasso? I just have Ted Lasso in my mind ever since Crystal said Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso so much. The Ted Lasso, the recent shows that I've really gotten into, Ted Lasso and The Bear. I really like The Bear. It was a great series. I rewatched season 2 and it was so exceptionally well done. I loved it so much. Ooh, yeah, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, DC. I haven't gotten really into any of the DC movies, to be honest. Well, some of them, but not all of them. Mm. Yeah, Ted Lasso wasn't really about sports. Ooh, Lana, hot take. The Christmas episode was my least favorite episode in that whole thing. It was so uncomfortable and it was so loud. I don't come from a very loud family, so like that stressed me out, that whole episode. And I had such high expectations because IMDb rated that episode as the highest, and it was just too much for me. My favorite episode was when Richie has his transformation. Oh, that one was so good. Blasphemy. It was so oh dude. The mother, she was great in that. She's the I always forget her name. She was the mom in Freaky Friday, which is a great movie, by the way. Um, and she was excellent in The Bear, but it was just so stressful and loud and obnoxious. Come on, Justin. He's trying to save you. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of her name. Yeah, for real. This is when Harry really became a dark wizard. He's trying to kill Justin Finch Fletchley because he didn't like him. For all we know, you could be. Hey, I did make my bookshelves myself. It's my least favorite one that I made though. I don't necessarily make bookshelves. Like I come from a family of carpenters, so we're all decent with our hands and we're pretty good woodworkers. Some of my brothers have done like a lot better stuff. I have two brothers, and one of them, I've tried to convince him of doing this, or not necessarily convince him, but he is like not a world renowned, but he's like a well known calligraphy pen maker. It's so nerdy. I come from a family of nerds too. We're a bunch of athletes who then realized that we're not going to go very far in athletics, so we just became nerds. So my one brother makes calligraphy pens, and he's really good at it. But it's like not the biggest market, obviously. So he just does it on the side. And then my other brother, he was just like a great, like he got a lot of commissions from people because people would come to his house and they would see like some of the stuff that he's built, like tables and like desks and stuff like that. And so a bunch of people started asking him to do different woodwork stuff. So he's built like oven ranges, oven hoods, not ranges, like hood vents and all sorts of other stuff. So this bookshelf was not a difficult thing to build. I just took 2x4s, or I know like 2x10s, and just sanded them down and then stained them, and then took a bunch of. They sold these. This stuff is like literally just firewood at Home Depot and Lowe's, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that'd be like good fillers. So I just chopped them all down, and then made them into a bookshelf, and that's what I got there. I do like plants though, so I got plants draped on all my bookshelves. She was weird in everything everywhere all at once. That movie to me got a little bit more hype than it should have. I love that movie. It was good, but I had like 2-3 friends who said it was the greatest movie ever made. And I watched it and I had such high expectations that it crashed a little bit, but it was still excellent. I tried to convince my brother once to make wands because calligraphy pens are eerily similar to wands, but the wands in Harry Potter look just a little bit different. The wands that he would make would be too uniform. Like they would be what the wands look like in movie 1 and 2, not the rest of the movies. And I like the wand look in the rest of the movies rather than 1 and 2. In 1 and 2, they're like very Victorian looking wands. I don't know if that makes sense. I like that she has to do that. It's like wandless magic right there. What's been one of the best movies that you guys have seen in the last like 5 years? I don't know if this is 5 years ago, but Arrival. I saw the movie Arrival, and it was revolutionary for me. I love that movie so much. I don't love sci-fi that much. Knives Out. I've actually never seen Knives Out. Heard it's great though. Who voices the Hat? Who voices the Leslie Phillips? What else is he in? He's just an old guy. Oh, he's dead. The Sorting Hat died last year around this time. He was 98. Wow. Oh, I know. I sobbed during that movie too. It was so good. So yeah, Crystal for someone recommended Free Guy to me, and they said it was incredible. They said it was like such a good surprise movie, and I saw it, and I wasn't that surprised because they said it was a really good surprise movie. So I guess if you're gonna recommend a movie to me, tell me it's not good, and just tell me to watch it, and then I'll watch it, and my expectations will be raised. But if you tell me it's really good, then they'll be bumped down a little bit. I said this in passing before. I don't say this a bunch, but I have another podcast that I do on the TV show Bluey. It's a kid show. And I think that is one of the greatest things that I've ever seen just in my life. That show is an exceptional piece of art. And there's a few episodes in that are actually on IMDb's like top 100 list. Some episodes on that are unbelievable. Some of you with kids probably know all about that show. And some of you Aussies, if you're from Australia. But there's one episode called Sleepy Time. And it is a marvel of an episode. It is every episode is only 7 minutes long, and it is just the single greatest show that I've ever seen. It is unbelievable. I'll gush about it till the day that I die. Poor Hagrid. Ooh, Parasite was good. Okay, I'll go in thinking both of those movies are terrible, and then I'll watch it. Mm, Hogwarts at Christmas. That would be so lovely. The carriages are being pulled by horses and not thestrals there. Not that they would be able to see thestrals, but Dungeons and Dragons. That movie looked hilarious. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it was one of the best video or not video game, like um I don't know what it would be categorized under, but I heard it was fantastic. All right, why isn't this working? Come on. Sport drives you crazy too, but it's so hilarious to me. They just go, cool. And they eat two things that are just floating in midair. Yeah, there is a Facebook page of them, of adults that love Bluey. There's a funny little meme of how thick can you get? That's a great line. I like that one. Yeah, you have to check it out. It's like one of those shows that you watch with your kids and you end up enjoying more than your kids do. But there's a meme that I love that is like um it's someone who put like a poll and they said four kids shows like Daniel Tiger, Bluey, Peppa Pig, and like, you know, like Wild Kratts or whatever. I don't know what the other one was. And they said rank these, or like what is the worst show that you can't watch with your kids? And all the comments under it, no one voted for Bluey, and everyone was all the comments under were saying like if anybody puts Bluey, I will literally fight them because it's such a good show. There's a character with ADHD. There's a few different characters for different things. A lot of people think one of the main characters has like celiac disease or something. Um, and all of it's like very understated. That's why I really love the show too. It's so understated. It's so like excellently well done. If you want to watch, most people rank this as the best episode, but go to season 2. There's an episode called Sleepy Time, and it is just peak child's programming. And as an adult, you watch it and you're like, how is this good? As an adult, I cried during it. Oh, it was so good. I don't even have kids and I cried during it. This is Where I Leave You. I feel like I've heard of that movie. I don't know why. It's like super old. 2014 isn't super old. I feel like I've seen that. Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Adam Driver is one of my favorites. So I went through an Adam Driver phase and I just watched everything that Adam Driver did, and that was one. Bluey is, you watch it on Disney Plus. Disney bought them out in America at least. Yeah, there's certain movies that I watch that no one else loves, but that I just can't explain why I love it, but I just love it. Jojo Rabbit. Oh my gosh, that one crushed me. Ah, come on, hold on. Sorry. Everyone just paused. Give me a second. There we go. I don't know why I did that. I didn't know you could read. One of the all-time greatest lines. That is literally one of my favorite lines in the entire movie. Jojo Rabbit is a work of art. I love the mix of comedy and drama. Oh my gosh. I remember I was like laughing hysterically for the whole thing, and then all of a sudden that scene happened and I was just devastated. The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Huh. Never even heard of that. This is such a weird friendship. The movies portrayed it a little bit weirder to me than the books. In the books, they were like actually friends, and they were like weird friends, but like that is just weird. Where he would get like legitimately mad at his friends for something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like that. Slytherin at common room is kind of cool though. I think that line was improvised, yeah, which is so good. He's a good actor. I love it. I wish he was in more stuff. Odd. Bad stomach aches. So does it. Thugs seeking a leader. Yeah, for sure. And why does Origin sound so familiar? I don't think I saw it though. Mm. Ugh. Promising Young Woman. I've never heard that either. I love your guys' movie recommendations. Promising. Ooh, Bo Burnham. And Carrie Mulligan. Oh my gosh. I'm into it already. And Alison Brie. Yeah, her cat head is huge. Yeah, Matthew, we were talking about that before. The voice changes is weird. It's a weird thing that they don't have that very similar to the movies or to the books. What would it be in the books? In the books, their voices changed along with it, right? Like in the books, they don't really have to adjust their voice at all. There's no like real mention of it. I think it just changes. I don't know what it does molecularly. I would be curious how Polyjuice worked. I know it's magic, but I think feel like that'd be an interesting study if it changed your actual DNA or not. Yeah, they have their own voices. Everyone talks about um the best actor in the series being um Bella. I'm blanking on names today. My mind isn't working at full pace. What's her name in real life? Anyway, everyone says that she's the best actor because she played Hermione really convincingly when she was like polyjuiced Hermione or Hermione polyjuiced until yeah, Helena Bonham Carter, yeah. Thank you. Jen just texted me a picture. Texted our group a picture. Harry or Danny and Jen just got stockings, and Jen's is a Gryffindor stocking, and Danny's is a Hufflepuff stocking. I think Danny got it for. That's so cute. They're becoming Harry Potter nerds. I kind of like the CGI in this, or like how this worked. I kind of thought that was cool. Like just this whole thing right here. That was cool to me. I thought that was kind of funky. I did like this actor as Tom Riddle. I don't think he was the best one, but I thought he was good. Uh, Not a scary movie fan. Hmm. I actually never picked up on that in the movies when he says the same line. Scary Movie 1 and 2. Aren't those comedies? I like Ghostbusters. Monsters don't make good pets. Poor Hagrid. I love that scene. Three guilty little kids. Slug repellent. Flesh eating. I think it eats their. I think it eats the slug's flesh. I don't think the slugs eat flesh. It's hard to think back to like the first time that you read this and saw these movies, but when you read this book for the first time, what was your leading suspicion of who was behind all this stuff? I don't think that I remember. Nice. Enjoy, Mel. Can I have you come for a little bit? It's a great question. Why they're refraining the students from going outside where it's probably a little safer. What are good non-horror movies that are Halloween movies? This is the first time that even in the books that we see Cornelius Fudge, right? I don't think we've seen him before this. And his family, for sure, is a classic. Same thing as like Casper, Ghostbusters. Those movies are great. All right. I want to discuss this line, this next line that Hagrid or that Dumbledore says, but I'm gonna let him say it. Everyone, look, this is what Jen just texted me a picture of. Their stockings. How cute is that? Okay, this line. Admirable sentiment. Okay, so that line, help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it. He later changes it to help will be given at Hogwarts to those who deserve it. Correct? Given at... And he says that he's incredible at turning a phrase and saying, oh, you know, like how I'm clever and I could turn a phrase to being help will be always be given at Hogwarts to those who deserve it. I don't know why, but I kind of like the first phrase better than the second phrase. Help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it. Like, Draco to me is not deserving of help. But to me, if he asked for help up in like the tower, maybe this is like taking this line further than it should have been. But if Draco asked for help at the top of the astronomy tower, you're not telling me that Dumbledore would have denied him. Like, I like the idea that if you ask for help, even if you don't deserve it, then you will get that help. To me, that's a better line. I don't know. Hot take, maybe. This Ron is so good. So good in this scene. Oh my gosh, he is excellent. Oh, nice. Okay, you guys agree with me. Perfect. Thank you. I'm glad. Ron's puberty coming out full steam. Gonna be follow the butterflies. Me and my mom quote that line to each other all the time. Along with a lot of Lord of the Rings lines. We quote Lord of the Rings lines to each other all the time. But Harry Potter might be our biggest. Dark Forest is terrifying. Oh my gosh. I also love Fang, but he's not a boarhound. Fang is a Neapolitan Mastiff there. And not a boarhound, which is not a bummer, but Neapolitan Mastiffs are cool. I said this last movie too, but I don't know. I think people underestimate how creepy a forest is in the middle of the night. Like, has anybody gone camping? I went camping once on my own, and I was in the middle of a forest on my own, and every noise that pops up is like absolutely terrifying. And I'm like used to it because I like camp and I go backpacking all the time, and it's actually terrifying. Given this, nobody's there, is it? Except my boy Harry. Yeah, that's kind of true. Nobody did deserve it except for Harry. Harry was like the pure soul in these books. Requesting is deserving. If Draco asked for help, he would get it. But if Voldemort asked for help killing Harry, he would not. Interesting. I actually like that interpretation, Crystal. Asking for the right motives, or like asking for the right things, maybe. It's interesting. I like that. The CGI on this spider is a little rough, but it's all right. We'll forgive him. Creepy. Ugh. Ron, it's so good here. Ron is so good in this movie. Oh my gosh. That was a good line from Harry there too. Well, thank you. Friends of Hagrid's. Can we panic now? The spider just strangles Ron. To me, that's a funny scene as well. I like that scene. Yeah, that part always bothered me. Hagrid literally sent them to their deaths here. Like, you know, we all love Hagrid and everything like that, but he is one of the most irresponsible people in this entire series. Celia, have a good day. Go South Africa. Hopefully South Africa wins tonight. Thanks for watching with us. Yeah, his naivety gets the best of him all the time, though. I'm with you on that. I think that his naivety, he just thought the spiders wouldn't harm him, but it's just too naive. This is like a fun thing to figure out. I remember this. Chamber was your favorite movie growing up. Interesting. Out of all of them right now, where would you rank this one as um on your Harry list of Harry Potter movies? I remember this part for the first time was harrowing. I remember it was so terrifying to learn that Ginny Weasley was the one that was down there. I remember being so sad, even though we didn't really know Ginny at this point. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is the only time they use a PA system. 100%. Oh, I'm glad that you like Half Blood Prince because that movie gets such a bad rap. As far as a movie is concerned, I still think it's the best movie. But as at an adaptation is concerned, it's not a good adaptation. We were talking about that last movie. Oh, poor Ginny. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't think they figured out. Wait. Huh. They say something that they figured out what happened. Hmm. This is reprehensible what he does here. That's like actually terrifying that he would. He stuck a wig in his bag. Yeah, it's a great part of the movie. Ew, she's so creepy. Olive Hornby, come on. To be completely honest, for a 40-something-year-old actress, I know she's like probably maked up and everything like that. She looks great. She plays a very convincing teenager. Like, she doesn't have like wrinkles. I'm like 32 and I got wrinkles already. um, this is endgame stuff. I know in the movies we know that Harry and Ron got a basilisk fang because Harry talks in his sleep and all that kind of stuff. In the books, is it explained how Harry and Ron get into the Chamber of Secrets? Because that happens in the book as well, right? They go down to the Chamber of Secrets in order to get a basilisk fang. Is this like where Harry just goes in at this point in the books and the door just stays open so they're just able to go down there? Maybe I'm just completely misremembering that. That's good acting. I like that little section. Yeah, and Deathly Hallows. How do they go back down into the chamber? Am I just misremembering that completely? I thought they get a bunch of basilisk fangs. I feel like maybe I'm misremembering now. Oh, okay. That kind of makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know if it was. Yeah, I gotta. I'm excited to get to those parts because book 7 is the one. I love book 7 so much, and I've read it 10 times. But it's the one that I forget most often because there's a lot of small little details in there that I just like. They kind of pass me by. So I get excited every time I reread that one. We can make a drinking game out of it every time Ron says bloody hell. It's so great. He's so funny. Oh. And who am I? No, I've seen the seen all the movies multiple times. Love these movies. I have played Hogwarts Legacy, and I love that game. I haven't finished it. One of these days on stream, I'll like jump on and play live. I might just restart from scratch because it is such a fun game, but I just never finished it. I had just too much stuff going on, so I never got a chance to finish it. Have you played Sammy Way? He does a convincingly creepy Tom Riddle here. But for some reason, I really like the depictions of him in the sixth movie. The two younger depictions of him. I know some people don't like him in those ones, but I feel like he's maniacal. Did you get bored of the game, or did you just like move on? Yep, just life. Same with me, kind of. Just a bunch of stuff got in the way. What a creep. As poor Ginny grows weaker, I go stronger. Pick on someone your own size, dude. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I feel like the story itself was just like meh. But the world that they built for Hogwarts and around it was sensational. Ah, oh, bummer, Katie. That's all right. You can still catch the last half hour with us. Or yeah, half hour. We still got like a half hour to go. Glad that you're able to come on for a little bit at least. I like that line. I bet Dumbledore saw right through you. Because that's the truth. Dumbledore's one of the only people that can really see through Tom. The fact that he calls him Tom. I love that. You put the tours on from YouTube. That's a great idea too. What they actually did with Hogwarts and like building Hogwarts out is legitimately sensational. Because they just made everything so concrete. And they did it exactly how the books are. Like I feel like when J.K. was envisioning it, I feel like that's what it was. They have walkthroughs where someone will like read the books and someone will walk through it in the video game, and it's literally the exact descriptions of what these places were. They're so cool. I love that you have a Harry Potter book club too. That makes me happy. Yeah. That's why it's interesting. This movie loses my attention the most out of all of them. Like, not that it's boring or anything like that, but it is really just a shot for shot remake of the book. And after this, they realized I think everything was too far. And not that it's a shot for shot, they'd leave certain things out, of course. And the books are always better than the movies, you know, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, if they kept this up, Goblet of Fire would have been a 10-hour movie. It would have been ridiculous. Which, I mean, I wouldn't have minded. I think all of us Harry Potter fans would have liked to see that movie being split up into 2 or 3 movies. That would have been great. That's why we have the series coming up. Yeah, the spiders definitely scared me as well. Yeah. Some of us, meaning all of us. At least all of us here probably would have been okay with that. I still, for some reason, this is my least favorite movie. If I feel like it loses my attention the most. It's my least favorite book of the seven, so maybe that's why. But I don't know. I just feel like the acting in this movie is the worst. There's certain scenes that I love, and there's certain line deliveries that I love. Like we were talking about the line of "I didn't know you could read." Like that's a great one. There's some other really great ones in here, but I don't know. Oh man, no way you started because of the podcast. That makes me so happy. If that's all that this podcast did was make a few book clubs out of it, I'll be so happy and content. Book clubs to me are like just so fun because I miss so much in these books. That's why even the podcast is so fun, and doing like live reads with you guys has been so fascinating. Because like where other people's knowledge is limited, all of us kind of help each other out and figure, different theories, fan theories. We all have different like expertise in Harry Potter, and obviously that's what we're doing. It's pretty fun. Oh yeah, I'm a Lord of the Rings fan. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Katie, I'm with you. It's not that like I don't like these series. When I say like this is my least favorite, I mean that I love this more than most other things ever made. But out of the seven, this is my least favorite. But I love this with everything in me still. Yeah, the acting just feels a little off. Yeah, maybe more set up. I feel like there's a part to it where it just doesn't have like movie pacing. This has a lot of book pacing, which is great, but it's not a book, it's a movie, so they need to make it like a movie. Yeah, agreed, Riss. I'm excited for the series for that reason. That they can kind of just pace things out however they need. Ooh, Sammy Boy, I have a hot take on that. I actually really like those movies. The first one was good, and there's I have problems with the second and the third of that. But those are more movies than they are books because they didn't base them off of books. So the pacing of those movies is sensationally better than a lot of the pacing in any of the actual normal Harry Potter movies. I find at least. The acting is really good in those movies as well. The depiction of Dumbledore is fantastic as Jude Law. The first movie was great. It was like fanciful and fun. Some of the places they went with it I didn't love. But I don't know. I don't mind those movies at all. I kind of like them. Oh no way, you haven't watched them? I actually like them. I enjoy them. Great acting. There's a lot of things that are really fascinating and cool. Like someone is a Legilimens that is like a serious Legilimens, like a better Legilimens than probably any of the characters that we've ever seen. And it's fun seeing someone like that. Wow, they showed blood in a movie. Yeah, yeah. The American side is entertaining too. I don't love some of the American side of things, and they show like other ministries of magic, like the French Ministry of Magic. I don't like, like it's just simple things like a nomad, just a boring word for muggle for me. So I don't like things like that. But a lot of the other stuff that they make of like the American wizarding world, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Like Macusa, I like Macusa. Again, and Jude Law to me is the best depiction of a Dumbledore. I think he does really, really well. Just he catches like the fanciful playfulness of him. Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I completely agree with you. It still felt a little foreign for me in that movies. Um, you like 2 and 3 better than one? Wait, you like 2 and 3 of Fantastic Beasts better than the first one, or 2 and 3 Harry Potter better than the first? Harry was very smart to do this. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts, agreed. We should also. Ooh, you're a Gryffindor. I'm a proud Hufflepuff. I don't think there's a better house than Hufflepuff. Okay, yeah, smart move by Harry to stab this thing. Very, very smart move by Harry to stab this thing. Um, I don't know. This is not necessarily a hot take, but Crystal, I'm with you. Wow, all you guys are Ravenclaws. Holy smokes! Wow, interesting. That's why I'm surrounded by such brilliance right now. You guys are coming up with some great conversational and discussion pieces because you guys are brilliant Ravenclaws. Nice, Hufflepuff. Very happy. You got a Hufflepuff in here. Yeah. So Crystal, I actually loved in the end of the second movie. I'm not going to spoil anything with you, but Aurelius Dumbledore. That was like I was so nervous because I was like, they're gonna mess with canon here, and it's gonna be something that I hate. But how they dealt with it in the third movie was really good. It was a very pleasant, really well done surprise, I think. And it filled out the one character at the very end, and it made him have it gave me like an understanding of why he is the way that he is, and I really, really liked it. Aw, Fox. Like there were certain parts in those movies where I was like, crap, they could really mess something up here. But they didn't. They really didn't. They like nailed a lot of things. The only thing that I'm like a little iffy on still is the Nagini thing. Just like magic. Oh, another classic line. Ooh, we got a Slytherin. And yeah, I think the Dumbledore stuff is the reason I like it too. It just fills out that family. It fills out that whole thing really well. I think. Both of us think. So I recommend this. I recommend them, guys. We're definitely gonna watch them with Jen and Danny and Kristen, and then Abby whenever she gets there. Yeah, I thought he was great as Grindelwald. I thought all the people that they depicted were really great as Grindelwald. We were talking about that even last time when we were watching the first movie. Guys, I am currently buying Chamber of Secrets for Abby because it reminded me that I need to buy it for her because she hasn't bought it yet. That's a fascinating idea too. I don't. I mean, I don't like Richard Harris that much as a Dumbledore because I think he's too frail. But it would have been really interesting to see how the whole rest of the series would have played out. I just think the initial casting of Dumbledore as Richard Harris was a poor casting decision. I feel like Joe should have butt in a bit more and got like a younger, sprier actor. Not that it needs to be younger, really, but like someone sprier. I feel like he just is so frail. Yeah, I kind of yeah. Hmm. Yeah, he was a bit more whimsical for sure, but I mean, I still just don't think that he nailed the actual depiction of um Dumbledore either, which is fine. He just played a different kind of character, a different look of it. Um, but Jude Law just, I feel like Jude Law just understood who Dumbledore was and just captured it really well. Like Gambon had the whimsicalness, but he didn't have the playfulness and the fun. And like everything was gray. He was wearing all gray stuff, and I don't know. Like I don't blame both of them. Just played two different depictions of Dumbledore, and it was fun because we got to see two different Dumbledores in it. But I just don't think either of them did like book Dumbledore justice. But I mean, you can compare the movies and the books, but I think if you do that, it's going to be miserable. I think Gambon's best performance was ironically in book 5 because Gambon's performance to me was very cold and he shut Harry out, and the movie where he shuts Harry out and he's very cold is book 5. So I think he unintentionally acted as a good Dumbledore in book 5 because Dumbledore is just very like distant from Harry. Yeah, yeah. Goblet of Fire Dumbledore is very violent, very strangely violent. Um, I have like a few different people who I think could have played him better. I mean, Ian McKellen is like an obvious one. Um, I think Ian McKellen actually would have done extraordinary, but he was getting typecast as every wizard imaginable. So I understand why he didn't do that, but I do wish that he did do it. I think he would have been an incredible Dumbledore. Because he has moments where he acts um, as Gandalf, and he just does. Like I feel like some of the depictions that they had of Gandalf was just a really good depiction of Dumbledore. Dumbledore is maybe a little bit more like fun and playful than Gandalf, but man, I think that Ian would have just done a really good job. Um, Sir Ian. Minalima edition of the books. I never even heard of those. The Minalima Harry Potter. Oh yeah, I actually have seen those. They were in one of my a bookstore near me. They're beautiful. Are there illustrations in them? I wasn't actually able to like look through them. Yeah, the scene is great too. Agreed. I still will just talk about the um, illustrated editions. I love them. Anybody who makes an illustrated edition, I love it. Oh, they're interactive too. So do they have like pop outs in the book? Because I picked up one book that had like pop outs of certain things. This scene is crazy when Jason Isaacs literally is about to kill Harry. I, was, I love it. Jason Isaacs just is about to say Avada Kedavra. Ooh, I gotta pick those up. Why not add another Harry Potter? Soon this entire bookshelf behind me is just going to be literally all Harry Potter books. So far, here, like this section right there. I can't do this. Right here. Those two are Harry Potter. And then this is Harry Potter, obviously. My Hufflepuff colors of Harry Potter. I just got to make this entire thing just all Harry Potter, the entire bookshelf. That was a calculated risk. I'm very surprised that actually worked. Aww. All right, I'll get him. After he kills him. In your defense, he lost his elf. He had it coming. No way. They're animated? Are you kidding me? I need to get that immediately. I cannot believe he was about to say Avada Kedavra. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I like when he points at him. Mark my words, Potter. Deathly Hallows live stream is sometime this week. We're hoping to do it Thursday. So we were going to do it Wednesday, but Abby and our two other friends are going to do the first book synopsis, like summary of the first book discussion on Wednesday. So I'm hoping that on Thursday, if Danny and Jen, all of our schedule, it's hard to sync up all of our schedules. That's why with me and Abby, it's easy because we could just do it like it's just two of us. With them, Kristen just got a new job, so she's been packed with stuff, and she just moved as well. So she's been like busy doing everything. Jen and Danny are newly married. They've been going to like weddings every other weekend too, with some of their other friends. So it's hard to figure out some scheduling stuff. But hoping that we can do it this Thursday. If not this Thursday, maybe next weekend. We'll see. Oh, I know. That line is devastating. Yeah, Riss, that's actually a really fascinating question. How does it get back to Dumbledore? That's a great. So that is just an elite Ron line right there. Welcome back. Where does the book go? Where does the book move to? Interesting question. I'm actually gonna look that up real quick. How does get the diary back? Some people are saying Dumbledore just picked it up off the ground later, which is the hard thing to actually believe. There you go. So maybe it's in Dobby's possession. I kind of like that theory, Crystal. That's why he purchases, or not purchases. That sounds terrible. That's why he hires Dobby in the first place. I did like how this movie ended. This is like a fun ending. Very like happy, nostalgic, cute ending. Some ruddy bird named Errol. Called Errol. There's another line in the movies that drives me crazy when Dumbledore is trying to like talk about Harry's love life. And he says, "What about Mrs. Granger? I see you two together all the time." I hate that line with everything in me. I hate it. I hate it so much that Dumbledore wouldn't know anything about them. Because later in the movies, even Dumbledore says a line that's in the book that he like cares too much for Harry. And if he cares too much for Harry, but he doesn't know anything about Harry at all, it just contradicts each other. That's just a terrible, terrible idea of a line. And I like that he just doesn't, he like full on claps there. I feel like everyone was kind of convinced that Harry and Hermione were going to end up together for a little bit. Yeah. Honestly, even though Joe wrote it for Alan Rickman, I still think Robbie Coltrane did a better job. Or maybe not a better job, because I think Snape does a really incredible job. I think he is just a perfect depiction of Hagrid. Like, to me, I think that is Hagrid. That is exactly who Hagrid is. With Snape, there's differences. Alan Rickman is a lot older. You know, he's a little bit less greasy than Snape is in the movies or in the books. Oh, wow. You were a Harry and Hermione shipper. Yeah, agreed. Actually, I do think that there are other people who could have done it, but not as well as Robbie Coltrane. I think Robbie Coltrane was just like the perfect person for it. I think John Rhys Davis could have done it, who played Gimli in Lord of the Rings. I think he could have done it pretty well too. He would have been a little bit different over Hagrid. I think he would have done it well, but not as good as Robbie. Oh man, so great. Oh, I love this. I love these movies. Even that's my least favorite, I still love these movies. Like there's a few other actors that could have done it, but Robbie Coltrane again was the best. I think he just was just perfect. I think he just knew exactly what he was doing, and he just nailed him. Yeah, there's a few other like maybe smaller actors I think that he could have done that they could have done well with it. But I'm so curious who they're gonna cast for all these people in the series. Like I'm really excited for some of the extra detail that they're gonna give us in the next few like months and years on the series. Like who's gonna be starring in it. I can't wait for like trailers of it. I think it's gonna be really fun to like go through that and watch that. Maybe one day we'll watch all those together. We'll do live watches of those. That'd be really fun. But yeah, this is a fun movie. Thanks for watching with me, guys. That was fun. Yeah, agreed. He like just made it. Ugh, that made me happy that he just made it. That was just lovely. I love that guy. John Cleese. Oh, John Cleese is a Nearly Headless Nick, right? I was gonna say. All right, guys. Yeah, gonna watch Azkaban. Probably not for another week. I'll probably watch Azkaban because we have a lot of streams coming up this week, probably. Because we're definitely gonna do a stream on Wednesday with Abby and that crew, and then we're gonna do one maybe Thursday. If not Thursday, then during the weekend. So I probably won't have a ton of time to watch Azkaban this week. I have a bunch of other stuff going on as well. So that'll probably be sometime either next weekend or next week or like in 2 weeks. And I'll just slowly make my way through the movies because they're great. And then I'll probably just independently watch the Fantastic Beasts movies too. And we can kind of watch those together if you've never seen those. Those are really fun. We can just have like full on dialogue about those. Those will be more like discussion worthy, to be honest, because they changed some of the stuff later on. So I'm actually really curious what a lot of people would think of those if we watch those live together. I think we get a lot more people to watch those as well. Maybe not. So yeah, my plan is to watch all the movies. I'll let you guys know whenever I watch it, and then I'll throw it out in like Discord and on our Reddit. These are pretty last minute. Like the last time I did one on Tuesday. I think I did one on Tuesday, and that was just like, I just want to watch a movie. So I just did it. And then this one, I woke up this morning and I was like, I have a little bit of time because I was able to block out some other stuff. So I was just like, I'm gonna watch the next movie. So these are a little last minute, but I'll try to like keep you guys updated for when I'm going to watch it. But it probably won't be next week. It'll be the week after that I do Prisoner. And then I'll just keep plugging away at them. So guys, have a good Saturday. Great hanging out with you and chatting about this movie. Just chatting about all things Harry Potter. I'll see you guys on the flip side. See you guys sometime in the next like week, I think. Have a good day.